So I want to ask Ferny if he can share some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make when they try to do online prospecting. So some of you guys can actually avoid them in advance and then do the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest mistakes people make, when I say it, it's going to sound obvious, but when you're in it, it's not so obvious. And some of what I'm going to say is actually going to confuse people that aren't familiar with attraction marketing. So the mistake number one, the biggest mistake people make, or at least the first mistake they make, is that they're prospecting with the selfish intent of building their business. That's the one that's confusing. It's like, what do you mean? Wait, of course I'm prospecting to build my business. That's the reason I'm doing it. So how is that selfish? Well, think about it. Like, where is your thinking when you're doing prospecting? At what point do you think about the other person's needs? So with attraction marketing, that's primarily what we have to think. When we're talking about connecting and reaching our target market, we have to understand what their needs are so that when we put a message out there, the message resonates with them because it's what they're looking for. It addresses their problem or addresses the result that they want to achieve. And so that's the problem number one, is that you're approaching building your business with what's in it for you instead of what's in it for other people. Mm-hmm. And that's selfish, and that's and think about it. That's the reason we have so much trouble prospecting people and approaching even our own friends and family. It's like, oh, what do I say to them? Oh, well, what if they don't like what I said? Or should I send this text message? Notice how everything you're thinking about is about you. It's about what's in it for you. It's about what you should say in order to get them to do what you want them to do. But if you actually sat down and thought, it's like, I have a product that helps people lose weight. Who has actually talked to me about wanting to lose weight or told me that they were on a diet and working to lose weight? So then now when you go talk to them, you go, hey, remember the other time when you were telling me about wanting to lose weight, or, how is that going? It's like, oh, not too well. Well, I just found this incredible product. I've been doing it for the past 7 days and I've lost about 7 pounds. Just was curious if you wanted to, do it with me. So that's a different approach. Now you're thinking about what's in it for them. And notice how most of the conversation is about helping them based on something they've said, based on something about them. And so that's what attraction marketing is. You attract people by actually having something in it for them. Notice how anything else, other time in your life when you recommend something, you recommend it confidently and you share it with somebody because you think it could actually help them. If you recommend a movie, it's like, dude, you gotta see this movie. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It has this, and this. So if that person loves, like, let's say action movies, well, you're gonna rent action movies to them. If that person loves a romance comedy, you're gonna recommend romance comedies. You know what they like. That's a very targeted approach. And the reason you share it is because they're very likely going to be appreciative and want you to share that. That's not the case with how most people approach building their business. It's like they're afraid. And the reason they're afraid is because they know that person's probably going to get pissed at them because you're focused on what's in it for you. First, you need to focus on what's in it for the other person. Even if you do traditional methods, what I just said about how to approach people based on what you know about them, based on the needs that they have in their life, is a radically different approach that makes it a lot easier to talk to them. But with attraction marketing, we can do that in a more automated or passive way, or at the very minimum, more leverage way, because social engagement does require time engaging with communities online that are in your target market. That can take time, but then today you have some incredible opportunities with content marketing to attract people to you through content. But it all starts with what's in it for the other person, not what's in it for yourself. And that's the mistake number one. Mistake number two is that kind of ties into mistake number one, is that most people do online prospecting without having a target market in mind. So that's a big problem. I've already talked about the value of a target market, but Having a target market allows you to specifically target people, communicate with people, reach people through various strategies that already have a problem that your product solves. And so, and I say product for a reason. I'll get to that in just a moment. But imagine if you were in a room full of people that had a problem and they were actively looking for a solution to a problem, that what you have in your company, like one hero product, actually helps them solve. Like how many sales would you come out of that room with? You don't even have to sell them. You just need to like talk to them a little bit. They'll inevitably express that they have this problem to you, and that you invite them to take a look at something. They're like, yeah, totally. I've been looking for something like that for ages. It's so great I met you. And that's what it's really like when you're actually, you know, have a target market and use strategies that reach people that actually are actively looking for a solution that what you have helps them solve. The invitation, whether they raise their hand or you invite them, is very natural and easy because it's very common. It's very human to, when somebody expresses a problem, that they have a problem. It's a very human thing to like want to help them, right? It's very natural. It's very natural for them to hear that invitation for help. And it's very natural for you to offer help. That's what we're trying to do when we have a target market. Inevitably, those people in our target market that we're engaging with on social media, that we're creating content for, that's being drawn to us, those people are going to be very open to our message because our message hits right with the things that they care about. Now, mistake number 3 is a big one, and this is going to probably ruffle some feathers, but mistake number 3 is leading with the opportunity. I recommend leading with adding value to a target market that can first benefit from 1 or 2 hero products, not leading with the opportunity. And here's the reason. The reason is because the product is a low commitment. So the product, when you have a target market and you're speaking to them and you invite them to take a look at the product that can help them with their problem. Well, let's say the product is a couple $100. Well, the commitment is a couple $100, and then they take the product and they get the result, they get better. When it comes to the opportunity, the commitment is much higher. Even if the opportunity only costs $200 to join, the commitment is much higher because you're not just asking for the $200 to join. You're asking them to get on auto ship for future expense. You're asking them to spend time away from their family to build their business. You're asking them to do training and invest in themselves to up level their skill sets. You're asking them to become a serious entrepreneur when they've never been that before. And so that's going to take time and dedication. So that's actually the commitment that you're asking for when you are leading with the opportunity. And coupled on top of that, your level of influence is really small. And so with a low commitment product, with a product that's even a couple $100, that's still a low commitment because all you're asking people to do, even if they've just met you, even if they've only been following you for a short period of time, if they can clearly see that what you have solves their problem, and it's very common for people to buy products, people are accustomed to buying products to solve their problem, then it's an easy transition. But when it comes to starting a business, if you want somebody that's really motivated, that's a much higher level commitment, and your influence and trust with them needs to be at a higher level. So I recommend building a warm market of customers, building a brand new warm market, creating a target market where you're leading with the product to help that target market or those group of people solve a problem. That allows you to build a relationship. And guess what? Once they get results from the product, your influence with them grows. Is like, wow, like Ferny really took great care of me. Not only did he provide me an amazing product that helps me with that problem, but he gave me advice. He coached me on how to use it effectively. I'm part of this incredible online community where everybody's doing the same thing, trying to lose weight or trying to do this or trying to do that. And so that builds influence too. So now the company has credibility because of what the product did, and you have credibility and influence because of how you supported that community and that customer. So when you invite them, hey, many of you have asked, what do I do for a living? Well, what I do is actually I help people. I actually get paid to help people do exactly what I've helped you guys. So if you are interested in turning this newfound passion for health and wellness or weight loss or whatever into a business, I invite you to come check this out. Check out this presentation, or check out this webinar, or check out this workshop. And people are going to be open at that point, because you have influence, because you have credibility. You've helped them solve a big problem in their life. The company has credibility because they've experienced a product that actually helps them. So they're actually going to be open to taking a look at making extra money by doing the product side of the business, because of that relationship that is already there. So with the same company, somebody approaching them cold prospecting and trying to recruit them into the business, that person will say no. But with the exact same company, you representing that company, but using this attraction marketing process, that person is more likely to say yes. And so it's two different approaches. It doesn't matter what the company is, as long as the product is effective and produces results, then you're going to be able to create influence with that person, make an impact with that person. And when you invite them to take a look at the business, many of them, not everybody, but many of them are going to be open. And notice how the invitation revolves around: take what you're doing and turn it into a business. Take your passion for health and wellness and turn it into a business. They're like, that's cool. I'm already doing this. And I know how to help other people do this. So it makes sense for me to take a look and see how I can make extra money. So it's very logical, and there's a relationship that's created. Now, some people will say, like, the resistance to this strategy and approach will be, well, I don't really care about the products. I'm only doing this because I want to grow the business side. I want to make money. Now, think carefully about what that statement is. I don't really care about the products. I only care about the business side. I just want to make money. Think of how insane it would sound if your favorite restaurant, somebody bought your favorite restaurant, and that new owner of that restaurant said, you know what, let's get the cheapest ingredients. Let's, we need to save money. We need to make money. I don't care about the product. I don't care about the meals. I don't care whether people like the meal. I just want to make money. Like, think how insane that would sound. And that person would probably go out of business. So to say that you want to build a business where you don't care about the product is actually contradictory. You should want to care about the product. You should love the product. Otherwise, why do the business? Do another business where you actually do care about the product. It doesn't, at that point, the comp plan doesn't matter if the product sucks or you don't believe in the product. So it doesn't matter how old the company is. If you aren't passionate about the products and feel like your products or just even one or two products can really change people's lives in some way, then you're probably in the wrong company. And and I'm telling you, like, I know leading with the opportunity is something that was very common in the old school ways and the traditional methods, and that's how people are getting recruited or conned into doing network marketing offline still. But that's primarily through personal relationships. The people that do that well are really good salespeople, so they're able to take someone from not knowing them to making that high commitment. But that's not something the average person can do. So by leading with the product and teaching your team how to specifically target the types of people who would benefit from the product, you're going to create more duplication, more success. When you help people make a few extra $100 from customer sales, well, they're not going to go anywhere. They don't, because those customers are going to keep buying and they don't want to lose that income. And that also makes the business real. It elevates their optimism for, like, okay, what else is possible? If it was this easy to make a couple $100 from this social media strategy that Vincenzo taught me, like, what else can he teach me? So it opens people up. It increases your retention to do it that way. Doing it the attraction marketing way, people actually enjoy the process of building. They make money faster. And when you do that, well, now you give your new builders an opportunity to build a relationship with people that are going to fall in love with the product. And when you invite them to take a look at the opportunity to share that product with others, it's going to make sense to those people as well.